Hello, world. Thanks for joining me again. This is T. Summers, and this is another episode of NFL Deep Dive. This episode, we'll be doing week 2 of the 2024 NFL season. And let's get right into it. Of course, we always start with the hometown Tennessee Titans dropping a close 17-24 matchup with the Jets at Nissan Stadium. Um, overall, for me personally, the Titans defense continues to stand up, continues to look good. Aaron Rodgers, 18 for 30, 176, 2 touchdowns. Breece Hall, 14 carries, 62 yards. Garrett Wilson, 4 receptions, 57 yards. You know, running on this Titans defense will be very, very hard for a lot of people all season. But if the offense can't complement it, then I see this, the defense probably get right on with injuries as the season goes on late in the season, just being on the field so much. But for the Titans, Will Levis, 19 for 28, 192, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Tony Pollard, 17 carries, 62 yards. Calvin Ridley, 4 receptions, 77 yards, 1 touchdown. Titans definitely have to, do a little more running. But as we know with this Callahan offense, it's going to be a lot of throwing the ball around as he did in, Cincinnati. But Will Levis, another just weird turnover in the red zone again this week 2 for the Titans. It's things that you don't want to see from your second-year quarterback happen. Continues to happen for Will Levis. Here in week 2 it happened, and you got to clean it up if the Titans want to play winning football. It's not winning football with just stupid turnovers in the red zone like that from Will Levis. Titans drop a tough 24-17 matchup in Nissan Stadium. As I said, they go to 0-2 on the season, and of course you know how the Texans are rolling. Of course, everybody knows you go 0-3. Only one team in NFL history has made the NFL playoffs after starting 0-3 in the season. The Titans starting off 0-2. They have a chance to get a win this Sunday, but if they don't, then it's got a tough slate to come up for the Titans for the remainder these next few weeks. This week, they play the Packers at home at Nissan Stadium again, and that's a winnable game with Malik Willis coming in. They're trying to say Love will play, but I wouldn't put him out there against the Titans defense. Titans defense is good. After that, the Titans got the Dolphins. Of course, there'll be another backup quarterback. Then they have the division game, the Colts, and they got the Bills, Lions, Patriots. It's a gauntlet for this Titans. So if they want to get a win this week against the Packers, it's time to get that win and get on the board and get trending in the right direction. Next up, you have the team that I said a week ago I didn't think would make the playoffs, and the Buffalo Bills, and they are rolling. Starting the season off 2-0, big time. Division win in Miami, 31-10 over the Dolphins. Josh Allen, 13 for 19, 139, 1 touchdown. James Cook, 11 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. Of course, Tua got knocked out in that game. Tua threw 3 interceptions when he was able to play in the game. And just, that Bills defense is looking better than a lot of people thought it would. And, of course, Josh Allen doing what he does, but a lot of it is on the ground. James Cook, 11 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Josh Allen has some running himself because he only threw 13 for 19, 139, 1 touchdown. That's not, killer stats. Like, they're killing it on the ground. So if somebody, come along and can stop the run, it sounds easier than it is because nobody's done it yet. But until somebody can stop them on the ground, they're going to run like crazy. And I see them winning more games and proving me wrong that they won't make the playoffs. Next up, you have the 49ers and the Vikings. The Vikings pull off the upset, 23-17 over the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy, 28 for 36, 319, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jordan Mason, still starting running back out of Gallatin High School. In for the injured Christian McCaffrey, 20 carries, 100 yards, 1 touchdown. Deebo Samuels, 8 receptions, 110 yards. Of course, Deebo out now with an injury to go along with McCaffrey and to go along with, I believe Trent Williams is kind of banged up a little bit too. And you got Sam Darnold, 17 for 26, 268, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Ty Chandler, 10 carries, 82 yards. And Justin Jefferson, 4 receptions, 133, 1 touchdown. They did everything they need to do. Sam Darnold looked comfortable in the pocket, delivering passes, looking like a veteran, which he is. Finally getting a chance with killer, probably the best receiver in the game, Justin Jefferson. And it's paying off. The deep ball's there. And the Vikings put off the upset against the Niners at home in Minnesota. And the Vikings start off 2-0, looking good. Next up, you have The Seattle Seahawks defeat the Patriots 23-20. Seattle, Geno Smith 33 for 44, 327, one touchdown. Running back 14 carries, 38 yards, one touchdown for the Seahawks. And DK Metcalf 10 receptions, 129 yards, one touchdown. They're looking good. They're rolling themselves too, also 2-0. And I think they might be, first in that division now, being 2-0. And, they're taking an early lead in the division over the Niners, which, the Niners have owned that division for years and years. Jacoby Brissett, 15 for 27, 149, one touchdown. Antonio Gibson, 11 carries, 96 yards. And Hunter Henry, 8 receptions, 109 yards for the Patriots. And the Patriots, I just seen them, of course, play this past Thursday night. And they just, they want to run the ball. And, they're really not, too confident. Jacoby Brissett just beating people. And you kind of see that. But they play good defense and run the ball, try to make it a tough game at the end in the fourth quarter. Smash mouth football. That's what Gerard Mayo is trying to teach you. And I like what he's got. I love the philosophy. And I think, the Seahawks beat him in overtime. And they lost Thursday night against the Jets in MetLife. And that game was, that was cool until later in the second half. So, I think that Gerard Mayo's got something going on. It's just once he gets his quarterback, his quarterback he wants. If the rookie is not it, I think the rookie may be it. But we'll see. Only time can tell. But once he gets to fill his roster out more of his players he's choosing, and I think the Patriots will be they'll be all right, and that division will be fully stacked from top to bottom. Up next, we have Week 2. We have the New York Giants losing to the Commanders. Commanders won a 21-18 win over the New York Giants in Washington. Daniel Jones, 16 for 28, 128, 2 touchdowns. Devin Singletary, 16 carries, 95 yards, 1 touchdown. Malik Neighbors, 10 receptions, 127 yards, 1 touchdown. He looks very good. Daniel Jones, no turnovers this week, but they still couldn't pull it off. Jaden Daniels, 23 for 29, 226, no touchdowns thrown. Brian Robinson, 17 carries, 133 yards, and no touchdowns scored. Zach Ertz, 4 receptions, 62 yards, no touchdowns. It's just they got it done though, and they got it done their way. I like the football Washington's playing right now. Washington Commanders 1-1 on the season. New York Giants dropped a 0-2, and of course, as you know, Week 3 coming up. This Sunday is a big week because if you drop the 0-3, like my Baltimore Ravens could, the chances are way, way against you if you're not going to make the playoffs. Only one team has made the playoffs in the NFL since the merger after starting 0-3. On to the Chargers and the Panthers. Chargers put a straight butt whooping on the Panthers. Jim Harbaugh has his team rolling 2-0 are the Los Angeles Chargers. And, of course, Carolina 0-2. Now, and Bryce Young bench. Bryce Young, 18 for 26, 84 yards, one interception. Just horrible. And I think, offensive line has a lot to do with it because if you look at Chuba Hubbard, 10 carries, 64 yards. Like, that offensive line needs to be fixed. And the bench Bryce Young, I get it, it's a little scapegoat, easy to do. But, I even heard on the radio this morning, people talking about possibly looking to trade Bryce Young, which is crazy to me because Bryce Young's still in a rookie deal, still have 2 years, 2.5. I'm going to call this year a half yet. 2 years, 0.75 left on his contract. And you're talking about, you don't trade. No. 49ers did that because they had another rookie that came in Brock Purdy, and they didn't have to pay him big money. And that's the reason they traded Trey Lance. But you don't trade a rookie quarterback, not a rookie, with a quarterback on his rookie deal before that deal's up. You just don't do it, especially with a caliber player like Bryce Young. We know he can play ball. We know he can throw it around with the best of them. Just give him an O-line and this thing will get figured out. I think you need time. I like getting him benched, though, because you got to protect him. You can't just let him sit out there and get killed and, get the Zach Wilson, effect and end up just ruining the kid's career. You want Bryce Young to grow and mature, sit down, see the game a little bit, because he hasn't had an opportunity to do that. He has an opportunity to sit on the bench and watch the game and learn the game a little bit more. So he can do that now, and hopefully they fix the O-line and he can get back out there, later this season or next season and be good for the Panthers. Justin Herbert, Chargers, 14 for 20, 130, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Johnson, 5 receptions, 51 yards, 2 touchdowns. And here we go. J.K. Dobbins, my guy, 17 carries, 131, 1 touchdown. J.K. looked good. Achilles looks good. ACL looks good. He's back. If he can stay healthy, he's a killer running back. Feed him 20 plus times a game. I would. He's a workhorse. He can do it. Him and Gus Edwards together. It's my old backfield. They killer. We never got to see them together in Baltimore due to injuries, which is crazy because they were both in Baltimore for 4 years together, and we never got to see them fully play entire season together. So I'm glad the Chargers are getting to experience that. It's beautiful when they're healthy. They're 2-0 and they're rolling. Moving on to the next one. Week 2 of the 2024 season, Saints dominate the Cowboys 44-19 in Jerry World. Derek Carr 11 for 16, 243, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Alvin Kamara 20 carries, 115, 3 touchdowns. Killer day on the ground for Alvin. And Rashid Shaheed 4 receptions, 96 yards, 1 touchdown. Saints just roll, and they're rolling. They're off to a 2-0 start. Dak Prescott 27 for 39, 293, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. And CeeDee Lamb 4 receptions, 90 yards, 1 touchdown. I'm excited to see the Cowboys against my Ravens. And they throw the ball that many times. I don't think they'll be successful against my Ravens, but we got to score points for the Ravens. We got to finish drives, but we're going to talk about that later. The New Orleans Saints dominated performance. It's 2 dominating performances back to back for the start of the season for the Saints, and I'm excited to see what they do this week, and they can recap on that as they host the Philadelphia Eagles coming off a tough defeat. The game will be in New Orleans, and I seen today a bunch of Eagles fans on Bourbon Street partying up, so they're traveling and they're coming strong to cheer on the Eagles. Of course, they always do. Colts, Packers 16, Colts 10. Malik Willis 12 for 14, 122, 1 touchdown. Josh Jacobs 32 carries, 151 yards. Running the ball, play action, and Malik, it's good for him. I'm glad to see him in his offense thriving. I kind of think like Titans kind of wrote him off with it. He's not, do something with him. He went out and beat Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson, 17 for 34, 204, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Jonathan Taylor, 12 carries, 103 yards. Malik Willis at home, Packers debut, gets the Packers a win over the Titans. Arch rival, the Indianapolis Colts. How more perfect is that? I know Titans fans like, I wish we could get Malik Willis come in and beat the Colts for us. But the Colts start off the season 0-2, and as I said earlier, they got to show up this week because if not, they get in that hole that not many people climb themselves out of. Moving on to the next game here from last week. Browns-Jags. Browns 18, Jags 13. I kind of seen this coming. I had this picked as my game. And again, the Jags start off 0-2. Another team that's getting themselves behind the 8 ball. Trevor Lawrence, 14 for 30, 220. Travis Etienne, 13 carries, 52 yards, 1 touchdown. Sean Watson, 22 for 34, 186. Jerome Ford, 7 carries, 64 yards. It wasn't a high-scoring game, defensive game. The Browns got a safety in the fourth quarter to kind of sealed it a little bit. And it's just this Browns football. I'm glad to see them get on the winning side finally. They're second in the division now, right behind the Steelers, who are 2-0, and of course my Ravens and the Bengals 0-2. So wacky division right now, AFC North. But good to see the Browns get on the board and get some winning happening. Sean Watson getting him a win in week 2. Moving on to the next game from week 2, we have the Buccaneers and the Lions. Buccaneers 20, Lions 16. Didn't see this coming. Baker Mayfield, 12 for 19, 185, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Baker Mayfield also is the leading rusher for the Bucs. 5 carries, 34 yards, 1 touchdown. Chris Godwin, 7 receptions, 117, 1 touchdown. Chris Godwin, the always consistent receiver there. Great asset for Baker Mayfield. I thought Baker did good, with the few weapons he had in Cleveland. Things didn't fall the way they supposed to a few times in those games, and he lost a few more than he won. But I thought, the Browns kind of wrote off Baker Mayfield a little too quick, in my opinion. Jared Goff, 34 for 55. Threw 55 balls, yes. 307, 2 interceptions. Jahmyr Gibbs, 13 carries, 84 yards. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, 11 receptions, 119 yards. This game also was in Detroit. The Buccaneers go in and beat Detroit in Detroit. which is a big game for the Bucs. Bucs start off 2-0. The Lions start on 1-1. Keep my eyes out for these Bucs. Everybody should. They're gonna be something to rattle with here come late December, early January. Next game on our list, Rams Cardinals. Cardinals with a 41-10 win over the Rams. Didn't see that coming also. Not after that first week. Kyler Murray missing wide open Marvin Harrison Jr. He made up for it this week. 17 for 21 was Kyler Murray, 266, 3 touchdowns. James Conner had 21 carries for 122 yards, 1 touchdown. And Marvin Harrison Jr., 4 receptions, 132 tutties. Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison was clicking, and it was beautiful to see. And that's what they bought him at for. You see 41 points put up, you can't beat it. That's what they want. Matthew Stafford, 19 for 27, 216. Blake Corum, 8 carries, 28 yards. Demarcus Robinson, 2 receptions, 50 yards. No offense at all for the Rams last Sunday in Arizona. And Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison and company exposed it and beat up on the Rams there a little bit. Move on to the next game from last week. Recap. Bengals Chiefs. Chiefs 26, Bengals 25. Game came down to crunch time. Of course, phantom flags coming out of nowhere, but hey, that's a whole other story. Patrick Mahomes, 18 for 25, 151, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That's 3 interceptions in 2 weeks for Patrick Mahomes. He has yet to surpass, I don't know, I have to go back and look from last week, but the week 1, Lamar Jackson outthrew Patrick Mahomes as far as yardage. And week 2, Joe Burrow outthrew Patrick Mahomes as far as yardage. And neither quarterback, Lamar didn't have a turnover and Joe Burrow didn't have a turnover. And Mahomes had turnovers in both these games. And somehow the Chiefs still pull it out. It's crazy. Isaiah Pacheco, 19 carries, 90 yards. Rashee Rice, 5 receptions, 75 yards, 1 touchdown. Joe Burrow, 23 for 36, 258, 2 touchdowns. Zach Moss, 12 carries, 34 yards. Mike Gesicki, 7 receptions, 91 yards. Of course, you know, Harrison Buckner walks off 51-yard field goal to end the ball game. It's just, like I said, Mahomes has been outthrown by his opponents the first 2 weeks, and he's threw turnovers, and his opponents have not the first 2 weeks, and he's won both games. He's 2-0. Bengals are 0-2, and as I said earlier, and I'm keep saying throughout this segment right here on the second episode, all these teams who are 0-2, including my Ravens, they don't win this week in week 3, they are butts against the ground. Because only one team since the merger has came back from 0-3 start to make the playoffs. And Steelers 13, Broncos 6. Pittsburgh Steelers off to a 2-0 start. Justin Fields, the starting quarterback, still for Russell Wilson, who's injured, who at this point, you know, you winning games, may not get his job back. Justin Fields, 13 for 20, 117 yards, 1 touchdown. Najee Harris, 17 carries, 69 yards. Pat Freiermuth was their leading receiver, 4 receptions, 39 yards. Like, they're just playing great defense and winning ball games. 13-6 ball game. Bo Nix, 20 for 35, 246, 2 interceptions. Bo Nix was their leading carrier also, 4 carries, 26 yards. I don't see this sustaining for the Steelers. And the Steelers, cupcakes. You start off week 1 against the Falcons, then you go off week 2 against the Broncos. You know, it's just, they start off the season so nice. I would like to see how this season continues for them if this schedule gets a little bit tougher down the stretch, especially in division play. Bears, Texans. Texans with the 19-13 win over the Texans. Texans, 19-13 win over the Bears. Texans, of course, 2-0. Bears, 1-1. Caleb Williams, 23 for 37, 174, 2 interceptions. Caleb Williams also the leading rusher, which you can't have. 5 carries, 44 yards. C.J. Stroud, 23 for 36, 260, 1 touchdown. Cam Akers, 7 carries, 32 yards. Nico Collins, 8 receptions, 135 yards, 1 touchdown. Nico Collins is opening up. Everybody thought, you know, Stephon Diggs go down and be wide receiver 1, take over. But Nico Collins is still the best receiver on that team right now. Along with Diggs and Tank Dell, this Texans team is going to be hard to stop, especially when they're playing good defense like they are. On to the next game from week 2, the NFL season. Falcons 22, Eagles 21. Falcons upset the Eagles in Philly. Came back too, it was a crazy game. If you saw it was on Monday night. Crazy game. Kirk Cousins 20 for 29, 241, 2 touchdowns. Bijan Robinson 14 carries, 97 yards. Darnell Mooney 3 receptions, 88 yards, 1 touchdown. Kirk Cousins played a heck of a game. Jalen Hurts 23 for 30, 183, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Saquon Barkley 22 carries, 95 yards. Devontae Smith 7 receptions, 76 yards, 1 touchdown. It was a great ball game. It was fun and exciting to watch, and it was crazy because I was finna cut. I literally was finna cut it off, and of course they go down and they, because the Eagles hit a field goal with 1:39 left in the game to make it 21-15 at home against the Falcons, and the Falcons with Kirk Cousins drive all the way down and score with 34 seconds left with a pass from Cousins to Drake London in the corner of the end zone, and that's how they ended that one. That was a great win for the Falcons. I think they can build momentum off that. Falcons 1-1 now, and the Eagles 1-1 also. Last game of the week, of course, our Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens at home against the Las Vegas Raiders in Week 2 of the 2024 NFL season. The Raiders walk into M&T Bank Stadium and upset the Baltimore Ravens 26-23. Gardner Minshew 30 for 38, 276, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jahmir White 9 carries, 24 yards, guys. They could not run the football. Devontae Adams 9 receptions, 110 yards, 1 touchdown. Nobody could guard that man for 2 quarters. Maybe a quarter and a half. Didn't do anything first half. May have had 1 catch before halftime. Second half, lost his mind. Lamar Jackson, 21 for 34, 247, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That interception bounced off the hands of the receiver, and so I don't put that on him. Derrick Henry, 18 carries, 84 yards, 1 touchdown. Zay Flowers, 7 receptions, 91 yards, 1 touchdown. The Ravens just can't finish, man. Fourth quarter football. John Harbaugh has to look himself in the mirror and figure out what he's going to do to his offensive line and how to finish ball games. Ravens lose this 23-26. Total yardage: Las Vegas Raiders 260, Baltimore Ravens 383. Passing yards: Las Vegas Raiders 233, Baltimore Ravens 232. Rushing yards: Baltimore Ravens 151, Las Vegas Raiders 27. The Raiders had 27 yards rushing, and they won a ball game in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson starting at quarterback and your defense fully healthy. Unexcusable. We have to fix our O-line. We have to fix it now. And we are 0-2, and if we don't come out Sunday at Dallas, 4:25 kickoff, and go into Jerry World and beat the Cowboys. If we can't get that done and we go 0-3, wow, just no words. How do you go from AFC Championship, holding Patrick Mahomes to no points in the second half of the AFC Championship? So close to all offseason. We add Derrick Henry and the things we're going to do, the way we're going to run this ball more, and all this. How you go down to, you go to Arrowhead Week 1. It's open NFL season. You lose by a toe. Imagine all that, and you start off the season 0-3 and miss the playoffs. John Harbaugh has to look himself in the mirror, get his team prepared to play football come Sunday in Jerry World. Run the ball consistently, play action off that, and I hope the offensive line is starting Ben Cleveland or anybody else besides Daniel Falele in right guard this week. And put the rookie in right tackle, please. That's all I have to say about Week 2 and those Baltimore Ravens and all these other teams. Now, Week 3, the Giants visit the Browns. That'll be a good game. I think the Browns will pull that off. Eagles visit the Saints, as I said. That'll be a great game. The Saints are rolling there at home. I don't know. That'll be a good game to watch. Texans at Vikings, another great game to watch. Broncos, Buccaneers, I think that's a good one. I think the Bucs will probably get them real good because the Bucs defense is great and Baker Mayfield's been playing good. Packers Titans. Don't know what I'm gonna get from that. Don't know, but that game is in Nissan Stadium. Know that crowd will be ruckus to welcome Malik Willis back into Nashville. Bears Colts. Bears visit the Colts. Two young quarterbacks, and I like to see how that one goes. Chargers Steelers in Pittsburgh. I will have my eyes on this ball game. I will be watching this one. This is a game that between two 2-0 teams that have playoff implications wrote all over it early here, even in week 3 of the 2024 season. There's a lot of playoff picture stuff surrounding it, in my opinion, because I think they may finish second in that division if they don't upset the Chiefs. They look good. They look like they could beat the Chiefs the way Patrick Mahomes has been playing. And of course, the Steelers in our division, they're going to have to try to, get ahead as much as they can with the rest of the schedule they have. And of course, like I said, starting off with those two teams they played. But it's going to be a great ball game. Great two teams who's going off to a great start, who want to run the football and play defense. I'll be watching that game. Dolphins visit Seattle, the 12th man. It'll be a good game. I don't know, though. I think Seattle at home, 12th man. Dolphins at the quarterback. I don't know how that'll go. Panthers, Raiders in Vegas. I think the Raiders will pull that one off, especially coming off a great momentum win they had in Baltimore. Lions, Cardinals in Arizona. That'll be a great game to watch. No prediction on that one. I don't know what you'll get out of that one. 49ers, Rams in LA. Even though with all the people that I have out, I think the 49ers come out and run the football, play dominating defense, and they'll put the Rams out of the misery early. Chiefs at Atlanta to play the Falcons. I think the Chiefs will win this one, but I don't know. The Falcons coming off that momentum win against the Eagles. I don't know. It's going to be a great ball game. That would be Sunday night's game. And then you have 2 on Monday. Jaguars at Buffalo, and you have Commanders at Bengals. Those will be 2 games, good games. Jaguars at Bills. I'm just going to be excited to watch to see. I want to see if the Bills are for real and if the Jags got any fighting chances. If the Jags lose this game, playoffs pretty much out of the picture. But if the Bills lose this game, I think, people start looking in the eyes, okay, they're not as invincible as they look. It'd be a good game to watch. And, of course, as I said, 3:25 kickoff. Ravens in Jerry World to face the Cowboys. All eyes on it. I'm watching it. I'll be locked in. It's the Ravens have to win this game. They have to win this ball game to be, of course, make it to the playoffs. And hopefully we run the ball. Hopefully our offensive line, the right side of our offensive line has, be fixed. Because if not, Michael Parsons is going to run crazy and wreck everything and put his hands all over Lamar Jackson. But I hope that that right side is shored up. And if it can be shored up, we can run the ball with Derrick Henry, play action off of it, and play hard-nosed Ravens defense. I think we'll pull this one off over the Cowboys. I appreciate y'all tuning in again and listening to me, man. As I said, if you're a fan of any team, comment, let me know. I'll get more deep into your team. And as this goes on, I'll get better, of course. It's my only second time trying to do this, kind of rushing. I guess I talk fast, for a lot of people, but I'm just trying something new here. I love NFL football, and this is something I'm passionate about, and we'll get deeper and better as the time goes. But as of right now, I just hope you like the content putting out. I hope you're enjoying hearing it, and I thank you for tuning in and listening to this. This has been T. Summers, and thank you for joining me with NFL Deep Dive. Enjoy your Week 3 Sunday at home watching NFL football, and I'll talk to you next week.